Hey there all, hope you're doing well today. So I realized that to do the watchtower that I'm thinking of building over here, we need a lot of stone. Well, the stone's also for the nether, and I need a lot of stone for that. So, what I figured I would do is just dig out a 16 by 16 chunk. Although I have no idea if this is an actual chunk, because that actually requires more math than I want to do. So, this is in theory a chunk. It's the Schrodinger's chunk is what I'm going to call it. Because until I can confirm it's a chunk, it's a chunk. It's neither a chunk nor a chunk. I'm saying chunk a lot. Either way. So I figured this would be probably the smarter-ish idea. And then I can just cover it with glass later on or whatever. Or make some sort of build around it like a mining operation kind of deal. But I just figure that, well, if you're gonna be getting a lot of stone, you might as well just dig. And I've already done quite a bit of digging in the mines, so I just kind of felt like digging out a giant chunk. So the idea for today is to work on the watchtower that we talked about last time. And then after that, we will be done and we can actually upgrade to 1.3. And, well, however, before we upgrade to 1.3, I need to finish up the nether, which is pretty much the main reason why I'm doing this, because the watchtower won't take too long to do. I already have a rough idea in my head of what I want it to look like, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, the stone I need for the nether is the main reason for this. And then I might add a couple things onto the cat house, because I kept calling it a temple in the last episode, but it's not very temple-y. Only thing I can really think to add to it would be some pillars on the sides to kind of, I don't know, make it look a bit more regal. Maybe a few more fancy flourishes, but there's not a whole lot I can do at this point. But also, I really want to mess around with some redstone some more, because I want to see what I can do with the redstone that I have available to me right now. So I think in either later in this episode or next episode, we're just going to mess around with redstone and see what all I can figure out on my own. But I'm going to keep on digging this out, and how far do we have to go? We got a ways. And then I'll bring you back when we're ready to start working on the watchtower and have all that fun. Alright, I will see you when this hole is much smaller. Well, I guess the depth is greater. I don't know. I'll see you when I'm done here. Well, I have dug the chunk. And, well, it's only about 3 full chests and this little bit. I got some obsidian, some iron, which I then used for more pickaxes, so it was... I don't really know if I gained a whole lot of iron, but I was able to keep digging, so... More than likely I'll have to do this again. Because technically I could just keep doing the infinite strip mine going, you know, whatever direction, but... I kind of like doing this, honestly. I can think of something to cover it up, or literally just do a layer of dirt. But yeah, so next I just gotta smelt all of majority of it, and then we will start working on the tower. Yeah, I'll be doing this again. So I decided to dig out a second hole. Needless to say, I got the cobble that I'll definitely be using for a while. Well, in my case, maybe like 20 minutes with how much I'm going to need for the nether, but we have plenty to at least finish the watchtower. So I started a little bit over here, but nothing too crazy. I was also thinking of doing a small bridge over this. And connecting this platform over to that bridge. But I think I just want it to be fairly simple. Because at the end of the day, this is just going to be a tall structure. There's not going to be anything too crazy. And I have some stairs over here I want to try. I'm just curious, if we do this... I don't think it works with this particular setup. If there's a space between those, I think it would look better, but nah. Trapdoor? No. Trapdoors have the same problem since they're both in the same block. It won't work there. Oh well. But yeah, we'll just keep this fairly simple. Nothing too crazy. Did this. The outside is going to be variations of stone. So it's not going to be anything very different there. But on the inside, I plan to go with more woods and all that fun stuff. Question is, how high do we want to go? I do want to make it fairly high, but go a little higher. Oh, and for the holes over there, instead of doing some sort of like mining operation, I was thinking of doing a custom hill. And then maybe in the future we build something on top of that. And we can probably do something with maybe like a house that has a trapdoor that drops down to the very bottom. Possibility. Okay. I can get behind this. I like the idea of being higher because over time as the series goes on, I plan to have more builds throughout here, and you can see, it'll be nice to see the difference between all of them. So I think that'll be kind of interesting. Wonder what we can do in the middle here. That's screaming for something, but I don't know what. Alright, so we'll put, for now we'll just say that height. Okay, let's do a quick looky-loo. Yeah. We could also match this height, but this pillar was literally just as a marker for me. That way I could know where the heck where the heck to come home. And one thing I do need is definitely some form of experience farm. But I think off camera I'll do the skeleton spawner and use that as a mob grinder. It's not going to be anything special, so it's literally just going to be water streams funneling into one area and then killing them. So might add a couple of redstone things in the future, but in the beginning I'm just going to slash them. So I'll probably do that in the in between episodes. And I think next episode, or at least in the future, very soon, I want to work on something with current redstone to see if we can do a switch that lets you walk over a pressure plate and have the door open, and then the other side it closes. But I only know how to do that with pistons and a redstone block. I feel like there's a way to do it without that, it's just a lot more convoluted. But I'll probably mess around with some redstone in the next episode or two and see what I can figure out and try and understand. And so I was thinking that we could also work on the blaze farm because, well, blaze rods are good for fuel in the furnace and also potions. Totally was spacing on that word. And I definitely at this point need some way to keep the furnaces lit rather than chopping down endless trees. So I feel like that'll be a pretty smart idea. Now I have no idea if this way that I'm doing right now is actually going to help make a decent pattern, but... And how does it always keep ending on that? I feel like that's pretty impressive. But I remember I've done this in the past with a couple other builds, and it's made it look a bit more... I don't know. Might break up that section a little bit, but I'm trying to judge it off of basically nothing right now, so probably a good idea to wait until we actually have a full thing going. I think minus that little cobble section right there, it actually looks pretty good. Now if we get the spruce sections up, that should make it a bit better. And I still need to put the stone underneath here, so that'll be another thing we can knock out as well. Honestly, I really like that. I think the spruce actually really helps. Okay. So in my previous world, I had actually started doing some sort of tower, but I never did anything with it, and I never actually really completed it in any way. So this will be a redemption tower, is my name for it right now. I will redeem. Yeah, with the 4 pillars, or I guess with the 8 pillars up, it looks a lot better somehow. Just that little touch. How many cobbles was that? Jesus, yeah. We're gonna have to make an intervention here. Yeah, we're just gonna... I'm gonna have to take over here and wing it. I need more smooth stone. I guess stone. Trying to make this somewhat fair. Because I like to just be able to do this, and you get a... You know, you get the random pattern that we all so desire. Alright, so I'm going to finish up this, and then I will bring you back and we can work on the roof a bit. I'll have to change out these sections at the bottom here to mix in a little bit more of the other stone variants, but yeah, should be good to go after we get these walls up. So bring you back after I knock out these walls. The walls are finished, and I will say that I actually really like it. Yeah, okay. So inside I was debating about how to do the stairs, but, well, stairs are still very annoying. Very annoying. So what I was thinking is, instead of doing like a typical round the corner staircase, we would go up and do this. And then we can have various floors break off, which I think will make it a bit better, at least nicer. All right, cool. So we would need stairs. This roof might be interesting, to say the least. Yeah, if we do this, I want the diagonal of this to be, that'd be that and that. Or do we want it to go like this? Yep, that, and then you have that going up. First, let's get stairs going. That was like a weird fail. Alright, so how do you do this? This where we have like stairs and slabs going around. This probably isn't exactly how most people do it, but this is how we're gonna just, I guess, mess around and do this. Okay, we're not gonna do it like that then. It's gonna be a bit janky. By a bit, I mean very janky. I mean, it works. It's just gonna be a bit funky. I think for now we'll go with that, and then we can assess at a later date. Alright, so from a distance, yeah, I definitely like how the tower looks, but that roof will definitely need some TLC. I have a rough idea, but the problem is definitely going to be with the 2-column corners. I think that's going to be making it a bit more difficult. Trapdoors are also still weird. They have to be on a solid block, I believe. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to do what I'm thinking, but let's see, shall we? Yeah, it's not going to let me. Nope, that'll be a later thing. My thinking was we could have the trapdoors going along the side here. Technically, we could do just like fence gates, but those won't really look as good. I definitely have an idea for the roof. It's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to kind of go more spiky, I guess. That's a beautiful and a terrible explanation of what I'm going to do. Well, try to do, I should say. All right. So the game plan. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I see where I was going with it. I don't hate it, but there's definitely some improvement that can be done on the roof, I think. I almost feel like it's too different somehow. I mean, I know what I'm trying to say, but it sounds weird when I say it. Maybe instead of sticking out that much. Yeah, but then I feel like it would be... I knew it would be a bit janky, so I'm not upset about that by any stretch. Stairs would definitely help, but there's only oak stairs, so there's no versions there, so let's put oak wood around there, which would probably help a lot, I think. Either way, overall I'm actually pretty happy with it. The roof, probably mess around with the roof a little bit. So with that built, I need to put the floors in, which shouldn't be too bad. But after we get a few different floors put in, then we will call that Dunzaroony. At least done enough for us to upgrade to 1.3. Because I'll probably decorate it a bit more in 1.3 and 4. But like I say, I want to try to keep the builds close to the update when I build them. So I'll probably have to put a cutoff point of I can update, say, 2 updates afterwards. Maybe 1 update, you know? Something to that extent. Just because I know for a lot of things, like when stairs actually get to be much more useful to me, that'll be a bit of a game changer. And like the base itself is going to be upgraded periodically. So I do want to put some arches using stairs and stuff like that throughout the base as well. Because who doesn't love a good arch? Cool, so I'm going to put in these floors, and next episode we should have, we should be updated to 1.3, but before we actually update to 1.3, I need to finish up the nether. So that's going to be a bit of a pain, but that is my rules for updating. I think we're going to leave that here for now, and I'll figure out maybe how to fix that roof in between or in part of the next episode. But I have a couple ideas for the next episode. We might be doing an XP farm in the nether using the blaze, which we'll be switching between peaceful and normal or hard or something like that, because I don't feel like losing my mind just yet, or what's left of it, I should say. And I think we'll mess around with a bit of redstone next time as well as an XP farm. With all that said and done, thank you for checking it out, and please do take care of yourself. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.